I'm Arfa Akhlaq and welcome to Fried and Tasted. All the recipes here are tried and tested. But today I'm not here to share a recipe video with you all. This is the first time I'm making a video like this, so as the name suggests, we are going to see 8 points for organizing a nice and a good get together. So I won't be telling you what to cook and how to decorate your house or things like that. Instead, I am going to share with you all some behind the scene for a get together. So now very quickly, let's see how to do that. The first point for me is to decide the menu. I know it's pretty obvious, everybody decides the menu and then only they go to cook. But my point is this, that we should decide the menu at least 4 to 5 days before actually the get together is, and not only decide it mentally, but what I believe is that it is so important to jot it down on a paper or to make a list on your phone, like wherever you make your notes and all, because it might take like 10 to 15 minutes extra of your life, but it's so much worth it. Get an overall idea of what you can make. So if you are making a chicken which needs a lot of hassle, so you can compensate it with some other dish which does not need that hassle. Or if you are making a tomato based gravy, then the other gravy can be a cream based gravy. So if you note it down, you get a visual idea of what you are planning and you can organize things that way. It's not like a hard and fast rule to follow that menu only till the end. You can always go ahead and change it, but keeping that in view itself, the second point is to make another list. Now this is not the list for the menu, but this is the list for the items that you need to buy to make these things. So once you have noted down what all you need to make, the second thing that you have to do is to go through your kitchen and see what all grocery you still need to buy. This thing is so annoying that the day of the event you decide when you are making something, you realize that, oh, I don't have this, oh, I'm out of red chili powder, I'm out of garam masala powder, and all these things. And I'm pretty sure it must have happened to everyone and at everybody's house. So this is so important to go through your ingredients from before. Since you already know what you have to make, you can easily go through all the ingredients and shop the grocery ingredients. At least if it is not a perishable thing, it's always better to buy it say 3 days before itself. Now the third point is to do some preparations from before. So now let me explain it in a little better way. By preparation, I mean that there are some subtle things that need to be done from before that we don't pay attention that much, but at the end we realize that it's really so much trouble to do those things at the last moment. So that includes like making your, so if you're making a curry or a gravy and you need ginger and garlic paste for it, or if you're making chole or maybe pav bhaji or sambar or biryani or whatever, and you use a specific kind of powder masala for it that you grind at home yourself, then it's always better to make sure that you have these things prepared at your home. Just keep an eye on these things, because like I said, it won't take a lot of time when you do it separately. So if you plan to make ginger and garlic paste, it won't take more than 15 to 20 minutes. But if you do it from before, it would be so convenient for you. And when you are actually doing a lot of things for organizing that event or a get together or a party, it comes very handy when you have these things at home from before. Also, what I like to do, that when I'm actually throwing a party for a lot of people, I prefer buying store-bought ginger garlic paste, or as long as it's not compromising on taste a lot, I don't mind sneaking out and getting things from outside and make my work easy. Now let's come to the fourth point, which is, now we're going to talk about the night just before the event actually is. So there are some more preparations that needs to be done on that day. So we already talked about the making paste and powder and all those things. But now, just a night before the event, what I like to do, that if I have to marinate the chicken, I'll do all those things on the night before itself. And if I'm making a lot of curries, I would actually go ahead and make maybe 1 or 2 curries from before. Also, if I have to make paneer, I make sure that I do it from before itself. And I mean making of paneer, not the paneer gravy as in whole. And also half of the gravy preparation is also done from before. Like I said, if I know that I'll be using a blend of cooked onion and tomato paste, then I just do all that from before, and then at the last moment I just have to saute it in the wok and then add my chicken, marinated chicken, and should be done within half an hour itself. The next point, which is my favorite, is dessert. So I have said it like in most of my dessert videos that I like to make this a night before actually a party or an event is. So there are 2 reasons why I do that. First, it is that usually I make a mousse based dessert, or even if I'm making a cake, all these things need to set a little bit before being consumed. And and if I make it a night before, by the time it is to be eaten by my guests, it sets properly, it absorbs the flavor in it, and everything works good. And of course, it's so much hassle-free to be done with this thing from before itself. The second thing is this, what I just mentioned, that it's so much hassle-free. I think most of the desserts are absolutely fine if they are done night before. So yes, desserts also need to be done a night before for me. 6, which is something which I mostly forget, is drink. So it's always good to serve your guest with a nice homemade drink. Now when I'm saying homemade drink, I don't mean that you take out a fresh orange juice and serve it to them, or make mango shake and serve it to them. You can obviously do those things, but another thing that can be done is to make a blend of some store-bought juices and put some lemon and mint leaves and all those things in it, and just make a different variety to serve them. And I'm guilty of forgetting it every single time. So if you are like me, make sure you have someone else allotted to remind you, or they should do it themselves, or I mean they should take this department of serving drinks to your guests. The 7th point, which is so important, is cleaning the house. So now this is something which is quite confusing, that we don't know whether we should clean it after everything is done, or should we clean it before we start cooking. So now the problem is that if we do it before we start cooking, then we might end up creating more mess while cooking the food, and then we might have to do the cleaning again. So what I like to do is to get the house, like rest of the house, clean from before itself. Just I'll leave my kitchen, and then when everything is done, then I'll just wipe off my kitchen counter and floor and everything, so that rest of the house is at least clean. Another thing that I want to mention in this cleaning the house thing itself is to involve your family members in cleaning the house. So in my case, like if I am the one who is the main organizer and cooking the food and taking care of these things, he's the one who actually who goes ahead and does all the cleaning of the house. And looking at him, even my daughter loves to do this, and she does her cleanup. I'm cleaning up her toys, and also she's always behind her father to clean up the house, and whatever help she can do to ease his work. So I mean, go ahead and give it a try. It's always good to involve your family members in some or the other activity, and there is no harm in taking some help. You can't do everything yourself. It's always good to take some help. The 8th and the most important point is be presentable. So by this I mean that if you know that the time for the event is 12 p.m. it's lunchtime, and the time is 12 p.m. Now it does not matter whether your guests are arriving at 1, 2, 3, whatever. If you have given the time for 12 p.m., make sure that by 11:50 you are ready. Take up 15 minutes, go ahead, change your clothes, be presentable, do whatever you want to do, put a little bit makeup on, or whatever thing that you want to do to look presentable, go ahead and do that. Yes, all the 8 points are done, and I hope you have found it useful. And if I'm pretty sure most of you have been following these points anyway by yourself. You guys are smart. And in case if you would think that some of the points were useful and this is something that you can make use of in your next party or get together, make sure to comment below. And also, if there's something that you need to add which I forgot to mention, you can always say that too. So I hope you like a video like this, and if you want more videos like this, make sure to comment below and let me know that too. Also subscribe to my channel and share it with others as well. Have a great day and stay out of trouble. Hey, subscribe to my channel by pressing the circle below with my face on it, or also the red button that says subscribe. While subscribing, also press the bell icon so that you are updated whenever I upload a new video. Stay out of trouble and look for more videos right here.